and it was not long before they set themselves the task of finding means of communicating with each other. A little hole in the wall near the floor soon presented itself, and through it came Sharm's whispered calls to his comrade. By actually lying down, they could have an almost eyeball-to-eyeball conversation. In a few days, they were whisked away.
They then were all shipped to Canada, where they spent the war quite safely and in quite good comfort, with a lot better rations than most of the people had in this country. And to this day, they are quite, in fact, look back at it and say it was their second birthday, because they hadn't survived that, the crash, being shot down. They would have been sent to the Russian front along with most of their unit, where most of the unit perished in the relief of Stalingrad. Their unit, KG-27, were crashing the planes on the airfields to supply Stalingrad, and most of their pilots didn't get out or were died in the combat.
For Heinrich Raeder, the war had interrupted a medical career. Conscripted into the German Air Force in 1938, he had to abandon his studies. He could not have foreseen that it would be another 16 years before he would qualify as a doctor. Whilst a prisoner of war in Canada, he was promoted to the rank of lieutenant and given the opportunity to resume his studies. But like many other Germans, did not finally arrive home until 1947. Heinrich Raeder appreciates the conspicuous lack of ill feeling that their bombing of Wales might have engendered. Neither side will forget the conflict, but they take great pleasure in the opportunity their grand reunion gives them to put the past into perspective. An uncanny bond develops between men who fought under different flags 50 years before.
I don't normally go for reunions. I think sometimes they can be a little too nostalgic. But this one has been very unusual because during the Battle of Britain, let's face it, there were hundreds of aircraft shot down. But this, I think, is unusual in so much that the whole of the crew of the German aircraft are all alive, still fit and well, and I'm still here. So they've pieced us together, and we've established a very good rapport and very good friendship, which has established a good entente cordiale, if nothing else. I think they've become interested because they've learned quite a lot about the episode, which they possibly were not aware of before. And likewise, I have also learned from these meetings.
Hugh Trivett was about to spring a secret weapon on the unsuspecting Germans.
It's better than English cakes.
Oh,
it's better than English cakes.
I don't know, that is a Welsh cake.
Yes, there is nothing like a plateful of Welsh cakes to help the conversation along and spark the reminiscences all are eager to share.
Ja, bitte. Kaffee, bitte. Gib mir. Oh, bitte schön.
Unbeknown to me, I led these Messerschmitt 109s, and eventually there were 27 of them, 3 lots of 9.
All chasing you?
All sort of chasing me. And some French Moran and Curtis fighters were on patrol, and I just happened to take them through this patrol, and I had no idea that this patrol was going to be there, and they intercepted them and shot 9 of them down. And this was classified as the first major air battle of the war.
That's right. And this is presumably why they actually featured you on top of your Hurricane in a recruiting poster.
Possibly, I don't know about that.
The RAF, if the Royal Air Force needs men like these now, and when we open it up, 1940 recruiting poster,
yes,
there is Peter Ahern sitting on top of his Hurricane in France in 1940.
That's right. I had no idea.
Few can look back on such an eventful career as Peter Ahern. In combat throughout the war in the skies over Britain, France, Germany and North Africa, he emerged to the DFC. But because of official intransigence, a Battle of Britain clasp was not awarded to the man who served the RAF so well, right up to the jet age. And all such veterans love to share anecdotes.
One of my letters sent home. Oh, by sensor. It looks like this.
How did your parents understand the parts that were taken out?
I don't know. This was from October 43, from Canada.
This map is made of rice paper. And if you were captured, one of the first things you did was to get rid of anything of this nature, which might assist the Germans in knowing how we were, what escape methods we were using. And then one was required to eat it. This is an interesting map. The scale.
Every minute detail is of interest to Hugh Trivett, who is dedicated to recording the facts of all such stories for posterity, and this tale in particular.
It seems extraordinary, doesn't it, that all these years later, we're here talking.
No doubt the talk will go on for some time yet about this fascinating episode in the Battle of Britain.
It's partly interesting because I'm actually serving at this station.
Why on earth bomb Sealand when there was shot and ironworks just over there? I'd have thought they would have been a better target.
The way it was carried out over such a great distance, and the fact that they very nearly got away with it makes the whole thing really fascinating.
Well, they would have got away with it if they hadn't made that fatal error to go round 3 times.
That was not fair. There were 3 Spitfires behind us.
We wanted to make sure of it.
You must put away. You must put away your guns. Only
Yes.
one gun.
Yes.
And shot.
But you had
That was
more than one gun.
No. Also,
No, he had one.
They couldn't see you.
Oh, well, that's good.
On the top, I could see you.
Yes.
And the others couldn't see you, so I must shot against you. And you have 8 guns, and only one.
If you thought you were having a bad time, you should have been in that band with me.
Mit dem Wundschiffe rübergeflogen.
We came 40 to England.
Yes, 1940.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the bomb.
For tea.
We came for tea.
Ah, yes, yes.
But you let us now
yes.
go back.
We wanted to
Yes.
drink tea.
Well, that's right. You came especially for the tea.
Only for tea.
Yes.
We don't want the bomb. Only for drinking.
Not bad, really, a tea, is it?
And then you came and shut us down.
Yes.
Yo.
Yes.
And you are supposed.
Well, that's
No
what
more tea.
that's what I was supposed to do.
Yes.